Oh yeah, 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 oh yeah. Hey there, what you drinking? 2 shots, let's pour it out. I know what you're thinking, but tomorrow won't come for us. This life that we're living, ain't never gonna give it up. Double shot for the gifted, and one more for us. There you go, drink it up. All this love in a cup. Yeah, we go slow, we go fast. Yeah, we can't get enough. We stay all day, all night, living in paradise. Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life. This is the time of your life. Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life. Don't look at the past, no, we're not going that way. Oh, now make it last, make it last to the break of day. No matter what people say, live life in a fast lane. Double shot for the gifted, triple shot for the pain. There you go, drink it up, all this love in a cup. Yeah, we go slow, we go fast. Yeah, we can't get enough. We stay all day, all night, living in paradise. Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ertuğrul Galeli. See you next time in the pitch. Thank you so much.
If you're in the Philippines, come out, come support the league, support your local players, come support the foreigners.
Thank you for support Manila Tigers, and next time ulit, kung merong oras, punta kayo sa stadium. Thank you.
Thank you sa mga Mindiola, yung mga nanonood dyan, mga supporters, sa mga nanonood din sa YouTube.
Yeah, let them keep coming and supporting. We will make them proud.
Oh, thanks everyone and TAGIG fans and other things for coming and watching.
Sa lahat ng Kaya football fans, sana tuloy pa rin kayong sumuporta sa amin. Hindi lang sa Kaya fans, sana sa Philippine Football League dito, sana supportahan niyo po.
Tara, Cebu!
It's amazing here. We have to keep coming, keep supporting every club, every supporter. We have to go together.
To my Mahalika family, yeah, thank you for the continuous support, everyone.
To the fans, I think this result is just for them. I think they are coming up to support us. I think we are giving all the best that we can so that they can come a little bit more.
Thank you all for coming. Hope to see you next game. Thank you.
We cannot go without the fans. We will always be there for them, to make them happy, to score, to win game week in, week out, so that they will be happy watching us and coming to the stadium. We want them to come out and support.
Hello, thank you for supporting Mindiola. Sana hindi kayo magsawang magsuporta sa amin. We train hard to get the last games.
All I can say to thank them for the support, the courage that they have been giving us, because they really believe in us, and we also have everything possible to give it back to them for what they deserve, and that is what we are trying to do. We always keep on fighting for them and give them the glory that they always want us to give them.
A clash so good, we have to do it again, only this time with bigger implications heading into the championship round.
A huge match here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. Digger FC as TAGIG FC looks to continue their undefeated spell. He's been there before. He's been the team captain of the national team.
We should be underway in a few seconds, and we have kickoff here at the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium for Rihanna, taking this one in. Long ball forward, good header in. Just a touch too heavy. They'll have possession here, TAGIG. Sending the ball forward now, Yusuf Butt. Threat, good block. So great control. Finding Galeana on the right side, freeing up the space. Now trying to thread the ball past Sato, but the shot was overcooked. Daniel right now in the middle against Furusuelo. Now sends it over to McMillan on the right side. Milos Kupic, steady hands for the goalkeeper there.
A better chance there.
Now a chance opening up for one Taguig FC. Patrick Reichelt unable to head it towards Sato. Now counter-attack for Trujillo and Stallion Laguna FC, freeing up the right side of the field. Trujillo with a pass. Unable to connect with Finn McDaniel, but Kuichi Belgira will keep it in.
Take a look at Juan Trujillo just spinning Stephen Holmes, sent him to the cleaners. Fantastic ball to Finn McDaniel, but the captain couldn't get there in time for the toe poke.
Since he's the man at the back. Long ball forward coming from Smith, finding Baji on the left side, being pressured on by Furusuelo. Couldn't keep it in play.
Back. Typically he's played center back.
Stallion Laguna hoping to spoil it for the league leader, Stephen Holm. Poor clearance. Finn McDaniel with a strike. What a save there from Milos Kupic.
Down to a game of fine margins, and it doesn't get much finer than this.
But with Galeana really threatening from the wings. Gets it again. Long ball, a shot, hits the crossbar. Mahmoud Ali heading it out. Laguna FC and one Taguig FC in this game as they have a free kick. Header in by Marcus Haber. And that is the goal. First blood for the league leaders as Marcus Haber makes the difference in the 52nd minute.
That's exactly it. That's exactly what one Taguig was looking for. A brilliant, smart margins here, Jamer. Take a look at the replay. Hartman, a beautiful set-piece play, catching the defense asleep. Haber practically unmarked by a smaller man. Take a look at the quad vision replay. Picture perfect header by Marcus Haber, who has finally scored another goal in the Philippines Football League. And what a time to do so.
Daniel, so he opts for Usman Baji on the left side. Mahmoud Ali and Hartman is there to cover. Finn McDaniel brings it down for Placito, who thought about the shot. Finds Trujillo on the right side with a shot across the face of goal and fizzing out wide. But unable to do so that time. Belgira. Now they get the ball. Belgira on the left side. An opportunity for Stallion Laguna FC to make use. Cross to Placito. Thought about the shot. Pass to McDaniel with a strike. Just sends it over the bar. After Finn McDaniel unable to find a teammate from that corner, Benny Mokota gets a touch from that cross of Usman Baji. Placito working his way past. Oh, and a goal that is from Terrence Smith. Nonetheless, the defender who prevented many chances against one Taguig FC gets them back on level terms.
If you saw the reaction of that bench, they knew it was coming for such a long time. As for Stallion Laguna, take a look at the replay. Ball lands squarely at the feet of Abraham Placito, who knows Mukata was open, but Sato was marking him. Takes the ball himself, fires it to the middle. Kupic was caught out of position. He was not expecting Terrence Smith to be there, to be at that point of the pitch. But Abe Placito knows where his guys are. He knew there would be a final man at the box. It just so happened to be the unbeatable man known as Terrence Smith.
Good look again of the pass from Abe Placito. Wednesday night main event is upon us, and we have a pivotal match that could shake things up in the title race. It's one Taguig FC going up against Stallion Laguna FC. No room for mistakes. How excited are you for this matchup, Diego?
So excited. I'm so excited for this one. You want to make a statement, you want to make a good start, and you want to, you know, stamp your control on the game very early on. Counter-attack, he's always ready.
Mark Hartman sending a ball forward for Agemang. Alteguer with the through ball for Reichelt. First real challenge for Yusuf Butt, and they call it a penalty. Reichelt shapes up and hits the bottom frame of the goal and gets the first goal of the match for one Taguig FC. Clinical nonetheless for Patrick Reichelt.
Excellent penalty from Patrick Reichelt. Yusuf Butt guesses the right way, and he still doesn't save it. That's how you know it was perfectly placed from Patrick Reichelt.
His wards.
Yeah, when that penalty went in, the first thing Coach Ernie did was call everyone back to his side.
He's pleading his case. That's a double yellow and he gets a red card. And he's calling off the boys of the field as well.
The message is clear, Diego. Coach Ernie Nieras wants his boys to fight. Long ball forward looking for Belgira on the right. Placito to Galeana. Galeana on the turn through ball for Quichi Belgira, and that's been converted by Dorado. We are back on level terms, Diego, here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium.
And it's an excellent team goal from Stallion Laguna FC. They don't have an outright striker, but they combine so well in the final third. Galeana peeling off from his number 9 position.
With this corner, an outswinger once again. Looking for Baji. Almost an opportunity for Stallion. Now Steven Schruck moving forward. Gets past one. Patrick Ling is in the way. Still with Schrock, gets past two. Pass to the middle for Aldeguer. Takes a shot. Oh! Deflected in for a goal. What a time to score that go-ahead goal for Andres Aldeguer and one Taguig FC.
Huge slice of luck in this one. It takes a nasty deflection that beats Yusuf, but they will take it though because they've been
pass for the goalkeeper, putting himself under pressure. It's the opener. Halide, will he take it? What a goal! Halide! And it's a goal. Bottom left corner. Opportunity for Philippine Army, and it is an equalizer. Fantastic goal. It's free on the right side, looking for the cross. Beto, and it's a goal for one Taguig. Yoka takes it straight to the goal. First blood drawn. Could easily be pulled back, but here's Aristorenas, no offside. Aristorenas makes it 2.
Mirback meets that one from Malunsoko. Shoots, and they double the lead.
Yamaguchi! What a hit!
And there's an attacking chance, and the Aguilas slip it in. It's one Taguig versus Stallion Laguna. Another clash of titans today in what has been an action-packed match day in this third round. We are bringing you Philippines Football League 25-26 action. And the question is, will one Taguig inch closer to retaking the lead on the table, or will Stallion Laguna get what some call an upset? It's all up to the players in the pitch, of course, as we are going to bring you match 113. And we are coming to you from the historic Rizal Memorial Stadium in Manila. Alongside Glenn Casas, this is Claro Manzano, will be your commentators for our main event on this fine football Saturday evening. And it's great, Glenn, of course, because it's a perfect way to end this fine day as we have a look at the standings.
Well, from the looks of things here, gaya nga ng sinabi mo, one Taguig has this opportunity because we already thought that they were losing grip, especially during the latter part of round 2 where they were not getting the results they wanted. But right now, they are hot on Manila Diggers' heels, especially after the opportunity from last week where Manila Digger dropped points against Aguilas. And that is definitely putting this title race out in the open again.
Stallion Laguna need the win to retake 5th spot because they trail by a point against the Aguilas. And this was that last meeting of theirs when you talk about one Taguig and Stallion Laguna. Absolutely quality football as expected with top 6 teams colliding in this one. What do you make of this game, Glenn?
That was so action-packed back then. And we were really expecting that this was going, I think this was one of the start where one Taguig has finally been dropping points. And this is one of those games that really showed that they are not infallible. They had high hopes at the start of the round, but as it went on and when they faced off, that's where it really started getting to them.
And let's recall Coach Ernie shown marching orders in this game actually. A double yellow. He was unhappy with something, of course, voiced his displeasure to referee Chris Mark Nanyola. Well, unfortunately, he was sent off in that game of theirs, of course. So with this actually, and Stallion and Taguig did battle to a 1-all draw last April 25. And there was Taguig sealing a 2-1 victory over Stallion last March. So you do see as that game, fine margins. It'll be tough to just separate the two, but let's get on with Taguig. And they're coming off that massive 3-0 loss to Manila Digger. Yes, they locked in dito, Glenn, because they conceded all 3 goals in that loss to Manila Digger sa first half. Tapos nawala yung intensity. What more, any hopes of fighting back, because 3-0 is massive.
And historically speaking, Taguig has conceded goals in the first half, and if they've conceded too much goals, they do have this tendency to not have the tank to really take it up, take it back by the second half. So they have to stand firm, especially because pag uminit na, umarangkada na yung makina ni Stallion, the defensive duties of the Taguig defensive line will have to double up, will have to make sure that they deny the spaces required.
And in that last game actually, wherein they conceded 3 goals in that loss to Manila Digger, they pushed their goals allowed to 9. So a third of the goals they conceded were all in that one game. As we see that it is 4-3-3 for Coach Arvin and his crew, and as expected, the big guns are out.
Yeah, and a lot of emphasis again. They love to hold that ball in midfield. They love to make those passing lanes come to life, finding those little avenues dun sa gitna, then trying to find a way to get through the wings or into the middle of the pack. So that's really critical. And that's also typical with the strength of the midfield that you have from Taguig.
And in terms of players to look out for in this squad of Coach Arvin, you've got Stefan Track, of course. Make no mistake, because he's always that player that you have to contain. He was present when these teams squared off last March. Wala siya sa April fixture between these two teams. He's in and out of the roster. But you have to beware whenever he's in the lineup here for Taguig.
True, and here's the thing. He might no longer have the speed that he used to have, and yung strength nga niya, sometimes you could still see him lose the ball in critical areas. But here's the thing. When he gets that rhythm, when he gets that ball and he has the space and you've given him that opportunity, make no mistake, he is going to punish you for that.
And good luck having to stop Shraki in a situation like that. But with us wrapping things up for Taguig, we'll head over to our pre-game interview.
Today, we expect to win the game 100% because we saw watched the Diggers game, they lost the points. So we have big chance to be in top. So little by little, game by game, we go to get hopefully 3 points.
Super sub Hamed Hajimadi, half man, half amazing. Knowing that pre-game interview and sharing with us his insights heading into this crucial game in the championship round. Let's jump ship to Stallion Laguna this time around with us wrapping up Taguig. Ang tanong dito, Glenn, can they get their groove? Because yes, you're able to bag draws with top 6 teams, but you need these wins, of course, if you want to climb up the standings. As much as they are at the bottom of the championship round and essentially do not have their championship hopes, you still want to finish strong.
And if you've been around the Philippine football scene for a while, Stallion Laguna is not the type to just let it all go. I mean, they are really physical. Their real signature strength is in their fitness. So, pag hinayaan mo lang sila, if you leave them to their devices, if you do not give them the due respect that they have, that they deserve, then you're going to get punished for that as well. So, Stallion Laguna coming off of a great form in the parang late push to maybe rack some late game points, late league points. And right now, and their target is one Taguig.
And we have a look at the starting lineup for Coach Ernie Nieras. He is continuing his farewell tour because he did say again it's his last season coaching Stallion. And with our player to look out for with Laguna, make no mistake, it's Mexican winger Juan Diego Galeana Trujillo. Obviously essential to this team, not just because they have to control the midfield with him being a winger, but he's actually one of the top players when it comes to playmaking. 15 assists, and he's coming or squaring off with his counterpart Mark Hartman, who is also a playmaker himself.
And that's the critical part that they run right now, because one Taguig is gonna control that midfield because they have the talent to do so. Stallion Laguna has to have that urgency to have those critical passes right in the right spots. And Galeana Trujillo has the right keys to do that, to unlock the defense of one Taguig.
And oftentimes when he bags an assist, Finn McDaniel scores, but they'll take goals from anyone, of course, in a situation like this with you squaring off with a juggernaut. We'll take it to our Stallion Laguna pre-match interview.
Injuries, players stuck in traffic, being sent the wrong. I don't know. We just had the last-minute change in our lineup just because of players being stuck in traffic because of the rain. Okay, so but hey, we're still gonna try to do our best, do whatever we can to win the match. Okay, so that's still the objective. That's not gonna change.
I love how Coach Ernie is always straight to the point every single time. He's gonna give you the answer, and he's not going to evade that situation. Of course, he's gonna be straight to the point, and you love the honesty. We're closing in at our pre-match ceremonies in match 113 in round 3 of the Philippines Football League 25-26 season. It's a championship round again here. One Taguig with that opportunity to tie Manila Digger in the standings. And if they do that, they will still have a match on hand. And with that match on hand, add that to a potential victory here, they could retake top spot. After all, Taguig did lead the way in the table for most of the season. But you have this explosive Stallion Laguna squad out to spoil that bid, whom themselves also need 3 points to add to the table. Here we go. Another good look at the starting 11 of Coach Arvin J. Soliman and one Taguig. And this is loaded with firepower.
Yes. Although there's just a couple of changes to this lineup from their last game, this is certainly them bringing out the big guns. No chances being taken here because they know that if they give their opponents a chance, they might regret it.
Anything less than a loss could give Manila Digger, or anything less than a win could give Manila Digger the advantage in the championship race. As we have a look at our match official, si Chris Mike Nanyola. Ang referee natin ngayon, ang kanyang assistants ay sila Paul Galicia and Aldos Mirafuentes. Si Michael Barajas, ating fourth official. Ang referee assessor ay si Ravelo Saloria. And si Miss Ira Ilan ay ating match commissioner. Your respective team captains, Daisuke Sato and Finn McDaniel for One Taguig and Stallion respectively. Your starting lineup for Stallion Laguna and Coach Ernie. And very similar, they're also bringing out the strongest lineup they have available.
Yes, with about 3 changes to this lineup today, they are certainly looking to do something different from the last time that they have had an outing. This is a completely different change to what they showed up with when they drew One Taguig in the round 2. So this could be them sending a message, they're out for blood.
And your game changers, and you see there are only about 8 players dito para sa One Taguig, Stallion Laguna. No surprise, they have the full lineup with their ability to sign a great number of players. You can just see the tension, Glenn. Ramdam din natin, syempre, as much as we're just seeing the pictures.
Well, it is a good sign because this means everything to them.
Patrick Reichelt will kick off this game. Bouncing back, winning, or even winning big is the name of the game for this team. And Patrick Reichelt actually did not play in One Taguig's 3-0 loss to Manila Digger last April 29. It is April 16 today, so they did get plenty of rest. You like that, of course, because you're able to just fan the flames or just get that cooling period to reset as a team mentally and physically.
And at the same time, this could really give them that advantage because right now they still have something to prove. This evening, they have something to win for. Like what you said, Stallion Laguna might no longer have any aspirations for the title this year. They just want to end this game on a high note, as decent as they can. But for One Taguig, they have something to lose right now, and them not scoring, not taking advantage of the points dropped by Manila Digger their last game, it could spell disaster for them.
And as much as Laguna do not have title hopes anymore, being true professionals, you just play and give your 110% up until the last game day. Whether you're competing for the title or not, whether you're in the championship round, which you are in this situation, or even for the teams who are in the consolation round. And mind you, they've given us a great number of shows.
And that's what you kind of expect to see when, hindi lang yun out of professional courtesy, but at the same time, spirit of being a true sportsman. Because you really want to give it your all and not just let the other team take you down so easily.
And you have One Taguig in their dark blue and the white. They're playing from left to right. They actually kicked out this game with Patrick Reichelt and playing from right to left. Stallion Laguna in black and pink. Here comes Shiraki. Not always on the roster for One Taguig, but expect big things whenever he's around. He also did play for Stallion for quite some time. He did have a stint before heading back to One Taguig. Interesting also with Stallion's roster, joining the familiar names, you have Gerald Aquino. He is Filipino, but he also has citizenship with the Northern Mariana Islands. It says here also that he is a former international for the aforementioned, but he is also Filipino, hence he's able to play as a local.
That's quite an interesting find as well, because yung network nga with how Philippine football works nowadays is really vast now. We are able to find gems from all around.
A great number of foreign players here who just raised the level of the league. You have Filipinos who were born and raised here in the Philippines. You also have Filipinos who grew up abroad or overseas. That's a huge network. That's a massive pool. Almost there for Mr. Incredible, but it's still with Naoto Hiraishi. Hartman. He had Hartman and Galiana Trujillo. in that instance, our two best playmakers in this season so far.
But again, I wouldn't count Stefan Schrock out earlier. The passing that he did was quite remarkable, accurate, and all. That's what you want, and I think that's a game changer for one Taguig this evening.
Well, we have those, of course, for our two teams. Let's talk about the back line. You have the formidable force of Stephen Ham and Pete Forosuelo. That's for one Taguig. And Stallion without Badji. He is listed as not eligible. Or in other words, is serving a suspension due to accumulated cards. And that is why you have Ken Pride and Terrence Smith playing alongside one another. But in the last game, you saw them insert Ken Pride as a sub, a player who would also start for Stallion oftentimes, capable of playing the fullback. Pero yung starting back pairing dun, and Coach Ernie, Smith and Badji. May sariling version ng Twin Towers sila.
And also, Badji is a really influential person when he's on the field. So to lose him in an important game like this is parang nakakapanghinayang that Stallion's not at full form.
Is this going to be another corner? That is confirmed. Corners, free kicks. You want Mark Hartman taking them.
Well, they are still able to marshal that one out with the height and aggressiveness.
Corner number 2 in this game. Placito got his head to it. This was on target. Very routine for Yuso Butt to reach for it. And just to add, if there's Gerald Aquino who's playing for Stallion, former international of Northern Mariana Islands, Yuso Butt, a Pakistani international. Nasabi ko na rin to dati, Glenn. Yung nakakaaliw, pag may mga international players na hindi Pinoy. Of course, expected that we have our Filipinos who play here, or Filipinos here who play for the national team.
Yes.
Well, that's quite a signal or a statement when you're able to attract talent from national teams other than the Philippines.
That's true, and that is a testament to the quality of the league. But at the same time, this does increase the quality of the league overall as well.
Yeah, Milos Chupic was a youth international, of course, once upon a time for his country. Youth international, pero bata pa rin siya, you could say, in the perspective of goalkeepers. As much as he's already 27, you know, goalkeepers can last very long.
True.
In the footballing world. He did play for the Serbia U19 youth national team.
And the thing is, goalkeepers can peak at around age 30 to 31. That's pretty much where they're pretty much at their best form.
Hiraishi not playing in his usual wing spot as a fullback. Let's name the players, of course, with experience with the national team for the Philippines. There's Finn McDaniel. We also have Kuichi Belgira, I recall, with the youth national team ranks, or the under-23 setup. With one Taguig. You have the Satos, the Reichelts. You have the two, of course. I'm saying with plural because there's really that group who played for the Philippines in the 2010s.
Yes.
Ad Shraki. You have Andres Aldeguer, who's more on that younger or newer generation. Ooh. It's in front now. And there's a collision. But this one's good for them.
Wow.
It's a goal for Reichelt and one Taguig.
Wow. And like I said, the impact of Stefan Schrock, he just, before the actual final pass, Stefan Schrock was the one who cut the defense open. Let's hope the replay caught a glimpse of that.
But it's an early one here. This one counts from what we are seeing from the referee. There was no whistle at all, but let's break it down.
Yeah, that was so beautifully done. Stefan Schrock saw the winger in plenty of space, and all he had to do was key in that pass. Then that run coming from the side, Sato just putting in the right amount of touch on that ball to send it its way, and Reichelt, right place, right time. combination of the three former national team players. My goodness.
And we just mentioned them, of course, in the build-up or prior to the build-up of that goal. Coach Neil Mountney is furious at that non-call. 7 minutes in, Stallion Laguna with their work cut out. That's 7 minutes in, and one Taguig just trying to shake off those chains or the ghosts from that last game where they lost in massive fashion to Manila Digger.
And my goodness, that was quite a feat as well. And again, I think the coach has the right to be a little bit disappointed with the non-call because it was really too close to call.
Isaac Agyemang is down in the pitch. That's why play is stopped. Here's Coach Neil, whom we mentioned earlier. This was the recent play.
Well, heavy touch right there and also a bit late.
And mind you, in terms of goalkeeping, you have the likes of Omar Ng, Miros Trupic, just some of the top players when it comes to goalkeeping. Sato trying to lock down that side. Dealing with Kevin Ebenemokata. Quite a feat if you can do that. It's because of Kevin Ebenemokata's massive build and burst of pace.
And again, Ebene could be one of those players that can contribute to a critical play for Stallion Laguna. Not just because of the size, but at the same time, the aggressiveness that he brings to that side.
Off of So, it's with Placito. Up against Ham. Our colleagues also mentioned in the previous one Taguig Stallion encounters, Ham played for Stallion last season. Caliana Trujillo ran into a brick wall. Hartman. Agyemang couldn't get this to Aldeguer. It's with Koichi Belgira. Belgira's playing that attacking mid-role. He's been making a living for Stallion over the years as a fullback. But when he introduced himself to the Philippine football scene, he reached the UFL era with Loyola. He was playing winger. So I'm not surprised that he's that versatile player.
But also when he started here, he did have that burst of speed as well. But right now, all he has is his experience, and he's really putting it to good use.
Koichi won that earlier. There's the foul eventually given away by one Taguig. It's a free kick. It's not Finn McDaniel range to score, but it's an opportunity to set up teammates here and there. They have runners now. Almost got it to one Caliana Trujillo. Hiraishi. So, that was in play. Ken Pride being very routine there. He makes it look routine, collected. Aquino got it to Placito. Caliana Trujillo. Shraki, Hartman. No look there. Blink your eyes, you'll miss it. You'll be caught playing catch-up. Agyemang hits the gas. And it's a successful stop here for Tremaine Castillo.
Agyemang just doing the needful to get that ball away. Just being in the right position to start off. But again, before that attack, though, that was really interesting to see that Trujillo has been given that freedom again to take the ball wherever he pleases. And I think that's what Stallion is doing right now. They are really riding on their best assist machine.
Juan Caliana Trujillo was also able to get that equalizer for Stallion versus Kaya. Came off the bench in that last game of theirs. And it was a tactical change, or a tactical move actually, with him coming off the bench. Well, he had to provide the scoring. Here's the corner whipped in off of Stephen Ham and Koichi Belgira. It's still in the mix inside. Reichelt, last time around, he got to score in the midst of the traffic. Shraki. Clever to Hartman. And Smith is able to get the poke. But it's another corner.
And Again, that pass again just cut the defense. They were cramped up in the box, and there was really that real small window that Stefan Schrock could make the pass, but he did make it, and it did end up with that corner.
Laid off to Hiraishi. Hartman took a number of touches before floating it in. Yusuf Butt got the punch. Hagiemang. Castillo was just able to poke it away. And sometimes you'll take that rather than have your opponent blow by you. You delay the attack and you just give up a throw in.
And, you know, Agiemang just knows that he doesn't have to touch that ball.
Reichelt invited Galiana Trujillo to dance. And in that situation, you have two options, but both say yes. And Benny Mokata to Finn. Off of Pete Forosuelo. He's not afraid to also bring out the enforcer duty. Si Pete Forosuelo. As much as he's not the biggest player on the pitch, definitely a very smart one.
And also, he really loves to just go in face to face with his mark. He's not afraid to take on bigger, stronger players.
In attendance also, you have proud Philippine football dad, Mr. Ferdy Maniti, the dad of the likes of Chantel and Jacob, who've been able to play for the Philippines. Stephen Halm. Coach Neil barking out some instructions with that sense of urgency. Pero teka daw, Glenn, may tawag dito. Outside na daw ang tawag. It'll be Stallion possession from what I saw with the assistant referee.
And they were, that one was a bit too cooked there. The pass had a little too much strength to it, so. But that could have been another opportunity right there.
And it's also fantastic. It is a triple header here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. All championship round games. And the rain is starting to hit here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. We actually had rains in Metro Manila in the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah.
Also in the afternoon, about an hour or so before kickoff between Manila Digger and Cebu, yung curtain raiser natin. It's been a cloudy day. You'll take that for football. I know some people like the rain, some do not.
But in case of football here, when the pitch gets wet, the ball becomes slippery. And sometimes it does give a bit of an equalizer for both of these teams.
And teams might try to take long shots, of course, because of the conditions. Galiana Trujillo tried to go for it in that instance, Glenn.
Pag madulas ang bola, mahirap hawakan. That's the one thing.
Placito, Galiana Trujillo. Koichi, heavy touch. It ends up with Placito. Benny Mokata is down though and is holding on to his left knee.
You didn't see the contact there. That could have been hindi nagkatinginan. Madulas nga. The field, especially in an artificial turf like this, it will be difficult to keep traction on when you're running full sprint in the rain.
Quite some heavy rains that you are all witnessing right now. And this will change up the game. I know some players do not like playing in the rain. Some do.
Strikers love it. Pretty sure they know that defensive clearances are more likely to have mistakes this time around. Keeper might spill the ball more often. And it's those little uncertain conditions that strikers love to capitalize, especially if you're the one with an aggressive mindset.
Kaya sa sitwasyon na yun, you gotta push your luck. And when you're a keeper, you have to be careful. It's like playing with fire. But gets it to Pride. 17 minutes in. Stallion in black and pink. One Taguig. in white and dark blue. Claro Manzano here alongside Glenn Casas. You're joining us in the Philippines Football League's YouTube page. As it's with Shraki now. Got to release over to Reichelt because there's the onrushing Ebene Mukata.
And they really love those kinds of long passes through balls and just really leaving the defender planted on their feet. But again, it's a really difficult skill to master. And nadagdagan pa ng difficulty because of the rain.
It's up for grabs. The rain continues, mind you. There are certain angles actually where it does not appear to be raining. We'll keep you covered there. It's back to Chupic. This was what we were talking about with the rain. You could see how it's extra slippery as Galiana Trujillo took a fall.
I think there might be an increase in sliding tackles as well because of how slippery the surface becomes.
Time continues to tick though, but it is 1-0 thanks to the early goal of Patrick Reichelt. Hiraishi. Aldeguer to Reichelt. Wide to Hiraishi again. Ayan nga Glenn, mga sliding tackle.
And I think that was a bit overcooked from Patrick Reichelt. He was expecting the run from Hiraishi, and Hiraishi just needed one more pass to do it.
They're mounting the pressure on Andres. And it's cleared up by Aquino. And with Stallion being pushed down, Shraki. And Castillo gets the number they dial. Sabi daw, offside si Shraki, raised his hand. Assistant referee was on the dot that moment. Nakita niya.
Pero props to the defense to time the movement forward para mahuli nila si Stefan Schrock offside.
Bilguera through the middle. Could not get this one to Gaku though. Sato. Shraki versus Castillo. Stefan Schrock also playing futsal as of late in the Futsal Liga. It's Reichelt out to double the lead. Straight to Yusuf, but
wow, and Patrick Reichelt didn't have a lot of time to take that shot. I think he wanted to have one more extra touch there, but again, Yusuf Butt moved so quickly to narrow down the space. Let's have a look at that. You see, Yusuf Butt was already in front of him. Didn't give him the time of day.
Charging forward as the keeper, narrowing the angle down, and there was also an onrushing Ken Pride to ensure that the window was shut for Reichelt, because put him in a situation like that, most likely he is going to score. Stallion will reset at the back with their keeper. No intention to press from Taguig. They'll stay in that block. 20 minutes into this one. As of late, Glenn, it looks like we have Taguig now in transition, trying to pounce. And Stallion are trying to control the midfield.
That's what happens when you try to be more patient with the ball, because if you do unnecessary turnovers of possession, that does give your opponent, in this case Taguig, plenty of opportunities to show up with the ball. Right now, hindi sila nagmamadaling maghanap ng pasa, but then when it comes, just like that, they're really just looking for somebody, a target man like Trujillo, to be in the right spot to take that pass.
And it's great from Finn McDaniel. He's able to put the clamps on Mark Hartman. Did not give him a window. Ooh. As this rocket just sailed over. And an awkward landing from Milos Chupic. Close one here for Stallion.
And you should not count him out, Finn McDaniel, with that shot. Look at how he's done it. He's been afforded that space. And of course, may opportunity. No one's marking him. He just needed to take that extra touch maybe, and he could have actually gotten that down.
That's his territory when you talk about Finn McDaniel shooting there. The rain intensifying further here in Manila. Belgira. Smith. Intercepted by So. Back to Bud. Ken Pride. 1/4 already into this game.
Ooh, slippery surface there.
Add that mix, Glenn, of maybe someone playing poker here, of course, with the extra conditions just to change things up. Let's recall, the PFL started in September, so we played about 4 months or 3.5 months in the Burr months, as we call it. Medyo malamig yung panahon. It gets even colder in January and February. And by March and April, that is the true welcome to the Philippines moment with the humid or hot and humid conditions. And now we welcome the rainy season here.
Well, there's no official announcement that it's rainy season yet, but this is one of the first rain after the very long dry spell. And speaking of dry spell, Finn McDaniel hasn't actually scored in a while as well, but he is their current top scorer. So hopefully he can do something here.
That's his range though, but they read his number. I think Patrick Reichel felt that. Here's a long one. A bit awkward maybe because of the conditions. Chupic knew what he was doing, got the job done.
Isa pa palang nakakadagdag sa handicap when it comes to playing in the rain is that sometimes your clothes soaks up the water and you're running with all that extra weight. It wears you down quickly. So if you're the type who loves to run around, this could be really difficult for you as it habang tumatagal tong ulan na to.
Almost, that was lovely. Gerald Aquino showing us his skill set. Finn to Belgira. And Benny Mukata, they swapped wingers. Ooh. And just to add, I mean, I will be Captain Obvious and state this, pag umuulan, hindi mainit. That's the plus of playing football in the rain.
Well, if you're talking about the body temperature and all, yes, it does help a bit. But again, all that extra weight.
And Chupic secures. Pero yung nasabi mo nga, the shirt absorbing all of the water. But this Rizal Memorial Stadium pitch, which is artificial, is actually able to absorb water very quickly. You do not see any puddles here and there, despite of us having this hard rain for about 10 minutes or so already,
True.
Glenn.
And if you've been watching Philippine football for more than a decade, you'd know that before, lalo na dyan sa gitna ng field na yan, bumabaha yan dati.
And you're talking about the era where the pitch was natural grass? Is that right?
I believe so. And suspend yung Philippine game because of that heavy rain as well.
I remember that game against Cambodia. So they actually took the water out from the middle of the pitch. Dumiskarte sila. I call that willpower. But kahit paano yung artificial turf, you see why it's able to work in the Philippines. Because of the heat, it is also challenging to grow grass. And then when it rains, there's the risk of flooding, or maybe the surface being unplayable, of course, due to the soft ground.
They tackled on Stefan Schrock. He was really rushing to get that pass away. But you've heard that there are plans now to put this back into a natural turf as well by a big developer.
Other than that, I've also heard or read of plans online where they also want to renovate this area further.
25K seater is what what's available publicly.
And let's continue to stay updated on that, of course. We want nothing but the best here.
Indeed.
For one of the homes of Philippine football. We're here weekend in, weekend out, of course.
Ooh, Kubic really had to make a run for it. He knows that Ebene Mukota could really do some damage.
And you have Gaku just flying through everyone. Was not bothered by the rain, but he ran into a wall named Stephen Halm, who once patrolled the back for Stallion.
And again, showing his value as a good center back there, Halm, just stopping the attack.
Lovely ball from Aldeguer to Reichelt. Uses veteran wits, returned it. Andres tries to slither through. This rattled around. And it's Yusuf Butt to the rescue.
And again, to be an effective center back, you really don't have to completely stop the attack yourself. As long as you make it difficult for your attacker. Just simple mistakes that could let your keeper do the rest. But at the same time, the player on the ground still recovering from that impact with Stephen Halm. Look at this replay again. That dito makikita both yung ulan and that impact there. Here comes Gaku. Sliding tackle missed him, but shoulder to shoulder, no mistake from Halm.
Could you argue that was a block also? I'm only asking that because I felt that impact. Kahit nandito tayo sa grandstand, under the shade.
Well, the rain isn't gonna make that any different for sure. You just ran into a brick wall.
But 1-0 is the scoreline. And it's courtesy of Patrick Reichelt. Scoring a goal here, of course, that caused arguments between Stallion and Laguna, or Stallion and Taguig sides. We got to see that goal earlier, of course. Coach Neil Mountney was contesting the non-call because he felt there was a foul.
And understandably so with how the impact looked. But again, it's always with the referee for the final decision there.
That's right. The final decision is with our referee. This evening, it's Chris Mark Nanyola. Here's Reichelt trying to be provider. But Andres Aldeguer couldn't put it on target. Would have been a highlight if he did.
And again, the pass from Patrick Reichelt just finding Aldeguer in the middle. And again, Schrock starts it all up. Reichelt looking, sees his teammate there, Aldeguer, right ahead of his defender, and still couldn't do the needful to put it down. Gerald Aquino, or rather, that was Kenneth Pride, who was on the tails of Andres Aldeguer.
It's still 1-0, but because of the efforts of Ken Pride in those certain breakaways, he's just able to change up these opportunities of Taguig. Just gets the job done. Galiana Trujillo will cross it. Hit the side of the net. It had a lot of power. And imagine if he slipped that past Chupic, despite of him not having an angle. We've seen goals though from angles like that.
And
kahit papano.
Yung angulo kasi ng upo ko, I really thought that slipped right into the side of the net. Just the side netting, unfortunately. But that could have changed the story differently for Stallion Laguna tonight.
Pero kung nakaupo ka sa bleachers, Glenn, whether that be behind the goal or on the sideline, sa angulo na yan, you could see, of course, that was a shot off target. And while we're at it, of course, talking about this very stadium, Rizal Memorial, medyo malapit na rin. The Philippine men's national team will be playing a Tri-Nations friendly series with Guam and Myanmar. Galiana Trujillo almost got it to Placito. There was a fall there though from Placito.
Referee didn't even look twice.
Our referee Chris Mark Nanyola took no interest in that fall, and Shraki getting hit on his lower leg as he released that ball. He has a very high tolerance for pain, I will say. And if he's in pain, then that absolutely hurts.
And again, you really have to do this as quickly as you can when you are facing up against Stefan Schrock. If you see a chance to put your foot in front and get that ball, susundutin mo talaga yan. But again, his experience really comes into play, just gets that ball away. Hope a replay comes by.
Plenty of physical action here.
Here it goes. Gets the pass further before the tackle even happens. Beautifully done by the former national team skipper.
And this one goes out for Sato. Sato taking on Galiana Trujillo. Daisuke gets it their attacking direction. Reichel got to control that. And now it is Agiemang who is down. Plenty of physicality here in this evening.
But again, the rain also plays a part in this because some of the tackles themselves get a little bit delayed, or the accuracy, the precision of your movements. Ang hirap lalo na pag madulas ang surface.
But it is a Mark Hartman free kick.
We've seen him score from these kinds of ranges, but it's more practical to find a teammate who could header it in. And TAGUIG certainly has a lot of players in the cards with the ability to strike in the air. But defensively speaking, so far this evening, Stallion Laguna has been on top of passes going from the air.
And we've also seen plenty of staff members get animated with a number of non-calls that they are questioning. And I'm just calling it as I see it. But 1-0 is the score. Stallion Laguna in striking distance of TAGUIG. And it's Patrick Reichelt again with the lone goal so far. And Patrick Reichelt actually bagged goal number 20 in his personal tally. He's pretty much been a lock at third spot when it comes to the Golden Boot race. Galiana Trujillo. Hartman. You see Stallion have done their homework. They're just locking down Hartman. From the looks of it, they're trying to immediately intercept the ball from him or make him send a wayward ball, which their defense will look to collect. Eben Mokata, lovely control. Goes for glory.
Given that right space, yeah, he had to pull the trigger there. And again, it's that favored spot, especially if you're right-footed. But also, with your observation, is spot on when it comes to Mark Hartman. He's not been given a lot of chance there, that shot. He had the space, but right behind him, he didn't notice the defender was already closing in. Had to take the shot himself. And this is something that's been really quite noticeable as well, is that if you do well in marking Mark Hartman, because without
no pun intended.
Yeah, Mark Hartman. Well, the thing here is, if Stefan Schrock was not in play right now, it would be Mark Hartman who'd be pinning those passes forward. I think Stallion Laguna is just doing their homework here, but it's really difficult to stop Stefan Schrock himself when it comes to denying him those passing opportunities.
And now it's Placito charged with the foul. But oftentimes, you will hear of certain players of a certain caliber. You do not aim to stop them, but to limit them. When you try to box them in, they contribute, but they're also limited. They'll have to fight tooth and nail just to do the regular duties.
And that's the important part of the job.
But we'll clear it as it was passed back from Smith. It will remain with TAGUIG, or it will go back to TAGUIG. Hartman Hiraishi. He was up against Aquino. Aldeguer with the strike. But there is the better effort also from Smith at the back to come up with the stop.
Aldeguer's been given a lot of chances to take those shots from inside the box, but so far, Stallion Laguna has been able to put the right pieces in front of him.
Here's Andres. But it is going to go back the way of Stallion. Eight minutes and additional time remaining here in the first. Smith. Finn. Galiana Trujillo returned it to McDaniel. There was Daisuke Sato coming out of nowhere. Taguig able to avoid the throw-in. But Shiraki's being pushed to the corner flag. With the scoreline, of course, Taguig will enter the dugout as the happier team. The Stallion staying close.
And to be honest, I don't think Stallion is doing a bad job this evening. They have been equal to most of the opportunities that Taguig has offered so far this evening. And Taguig has looked lethal, but at the same time, when Stallion goes to the other side and they make some opportunities themselves, it could also go either way. But here's the kicker though. Stallion has always been really good in the first half. If they were good in the first half, sometimes it's the second half that suffers.
Aldeguer. Raisha couldn't get it. It's a close one here though. But Yusuf Butt knew what he was doing.
He was really inviting danger there. Yusuf Butt just waiting for the attacker to come even close. I think he wanted to clear that ball, but I think he also na-compute na niya sa utak niya na he's gonna make it.
And as much as the ball spins faster on artificial turf when it is wet, there are moments where it could also slow down when players being used to playing when the turf is its usual, which is dry. Shiraki got Placito to bite. Well, but secured that ball. He'll volley it quickly in hopes of triggering a counter. It just goes to his opposite though.
I think he was looking for Ebene Mokota there. Mokota was in a good place to start a counter attack.
5 minutes remaining for Taguig to hold on at the least before the halftime whistle. That's 5 minutes plus stoppage also, mind you, for Stallion to rescue something as much as we're in the early stages or as much as we're in the first half. At the least you want to do damage control. 1-0 is the score. It could go either way.
Important part right now is for Stallion Laguna to maintain the composure that they've had over the ball. And really, if changes are really required, hopefully it doesn't destroy the balance that first half Stallions is displaying right now, because they are showing Taguig that it's difficult to score. They are fighting for every inch that they are getting.
It ended up with Placito. Was surrounded here. Earlier today, you did see Cebu FC rescue a draw versus Manila Digger. The Diggers led 1-0 courtesy of a first half goal. And they leveled it at 1-1 in the late stages of the second half. Here comes Aldeguer, sent it to the middle. And Shiraki making it 2-0, just like that.
Stefan Schrock might not have the acceleration anymore, but he certainly knows when an opportunity is going to open up. That was beautiful movement from the veteran player. So much so that he has anticipated that that pass would happen on that side.
He is the player to watch for Taguig. And we did tell you, when he's in the lineup, expect big things.
Let's have a look. Seeing that run on that left side by Aldeguer. Aldeguer already seeing Schrock with that run. No defender could see Stefan Schrock making that run. All three sets of eyes were all on Aldeguer, and they weren't anticipating that there was somebody running the opposite that flank. Bigla na bulaga.
And it was Patrick Reichelt actually with the pass to assist. Andres Aldeguer and Shraki, they've been teammates before. They played together in the youth national team setup when they were known as the Ascals development team.
That same signature celebration, I've seen that on their match with the PFF Futsal Liga, which by the way will be holding their finals tomorrow. It will be live on YouTube as well.
And you have Shraki playing in the finals, is that correct?
Yes, the Ascals Development Club.
Quite some entertaining matches, of course, in the PFF Futsal Liga. Yung maganda, Glenn, no? Yung games sa Futsal Liga at Arta Phil Sports Arena. That's where they played the FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup.
Correct, and it is still the same, what's the term again?
Same setup.
Not just the setup, the infrastructure itself was maintained, and they turned the Ultra into a permanent futsal. So you will definitely see that field, that court, in its beautiful blue.
Two minutes remaining until we head over to stoppage time.
So mabalik with the Futsal Liga, it will be tomorrow, and the U17 girls and boys will have their matches at 2 in the afternoon and 3:30 respectively. Plus, the finals with the women's and men's open division will be at 5 and 6:30 p.m. respectively. You can catch it live, you can catch it on YouTube. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is for the improvement, the development of your Philippine football.
Oh, futsal, of course, well connected with football. Here's Placito. They'll need the incredible from him. Gaku, got to evade So. Kalyana Trujillo. Couldn't get it to Finn. Helm. Only half cleared. Sato. Helm. Just connecting there, of course, like they're in the playground. Placito gets it. It's a prime opportunity. Lobs it. Couldn't find Finn McDaniel, though, unfortunately.
Another important tool in the toolbox for Stallion Laguna, Abraham Placito. What a player. Big figure in middle. Really imposing, really physical.
He's called Mr. Incredible for a reason, as I've told you. And Bene Mukata. He came in as a sub versus Kaya, came close to scoring on 3 occasions. Things would have been different if he got to convert at least one of those chances. He saw that he was gutted, but he has his chance to bounce back. He gets the start now.
And so far, alongside Galiana Trujillo, he has been doing a lot for his team, especially in recovering that ball from a high position, critical points.
Here's McDaniel. Out wide as they cross. Almost here, but Chupic. Very firm, of course. We may have a few more spells in this game. We are nearing the allotted 2 minutes already of stoppage time. It's 2-0. Stefan Schrake and Patrick Reichelt are your goal scorers. Here's Schrake. Got beaten 2-1. In his prime, I remember, and the Philippines faced Turkmenistan here. had to put 3 players in Shraki, and then there was a 4th player also just to jam the space. Outside of those 3 players, yes.
He used to be one of the best dribblers that the Philippines has seen play in the RMS. So no doubt there will be a lot of players who would be marking that man. But right now, they know that Stallion Laguna knows that danger all too well.
Crossed in here. But Chopic again with the stop. He got to deny or meet the ball of Aquino. So 0-0 is the score here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, and it's a 1 Taguig with the lead as we speak. The hard rains continue right here, but we'll head on to our break again. Teams will head over to their respective dugouts. Reichelt and Schrock, your providers for 1 Taguig as they lead Stallion Laguna 2-0.
Yeah, thanks so much, Eric Galilee. See you next time in the pitch. Thank you so much.
If you're in the Philippines, come out, come support the league, support your local players, come support the foreigners.
Thank you for support Manila Tigers, and next time ulit, kung merong oras, punta kayo sa stadium. Thank you.
Thank you sa mga Mindiola, yung mga nanonood dyan, mga supporters, sa mga nanonood din sa YouTube.
Yeah, let them keep coming and supporting. We will make them proud.
Oh, thanks everyone and 1 Taguig fans and all that things for coming and watching.
Sa lahat ng Kaya football fans, sana tuloy pa rin kayong sumuporta sa amin. Hindi lang sa Kaya fans, sana sa Philippine Football League dito, sana supportahan niyo po.
Tara, Cebu! It's amazing here. We have to keep coming, keep supporting every club, every supporter. We have to go together.
To my Mahalika family, yeah, thank you for the continuous support, everyone.
To the fans, I think this result is just for them. I think they are coming up to support us. I think we are giving all the best that we can so that they can come a little bit more.
Thank you all for coming. Hope to see you next game. Thank you.
We cannot go without the fans. We will always be there for them, to make them happy, to score, to win game week in, week out, so that they will be happy watching us and coming to the stadium. We want them to come out and support.
Hello, thank you for supporting Mindiola. Sana hindi kayo magsawa mag-suporta sa amin. We train hard to get the last games.
All I can say to thank them for the support, the courage that they have been giving us, because they really believe in us, and we also have everything possible to give it back to them for what they deserve, and that is what we are trying to do. We always keep on fighting for them and give them the glory that they always want us to give them.
Halftime at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, and Stefan Schrock and Patrick Reichel continue to lead the way here for Tagig over Stallion Laguna. 2-0 is the score, Glenn, but that does not really paint the picture of this game, which has been rain hit also. The rain has died down a bit, pero medyo malakas nga siya kanina.
Yes, and considering the kind of rain that we were dealing with earlier, it was quite a surprise that they really were juking it out and just hoping that there were going to be a lot of mistakes, which none really did happen, save for that second goal. Everything was falling according to plan. Stallion Laguna was able to keep themselves up in the same page as Tagig, and they've been absorbing, and not just that, they've also been dishing out some offensives of their own. But it was really Stefan Schrock in the end who had been the main deciding factor. With that first goal, his cutting pass opened the defenses wide. And then that second goal, when Aldeguer found him making that run into open space and nobody was keeping an eye on him. That really paid dividends for his introduction into this game.
Talk about breaks of the game here. If you're Tagig, if you're Stallion. 2-0 is the score. Kudos to Tagig, not to take anything away from them, but you have to feel for Stallion here with what some will call hard luck. Because they're in this 2-0 hole and they were knocking on the door constantly.
And you have to argue, because they were really doing well with most of the game. You can say that 98% of the first half, they were doing well. They were able to guard well. They were able to find the runs before they happen. And yun nga, as much as you would love to have those perfect games, it takes just a split second of lapse to really give your opponent something to work with.
And so, yeah.
Comes to physicality, when it comes to just taking the ball and making judgment, number of fouls is quite even, so you know the commitment coming from both of these teams are at the same level. But this is the second half. This kind of changes the dynamic. Sometimes a break in between would make or break a team, and here's the thing, second half is also where adjustments are made, and sometimes those adjustments, we've seen them before, and they can either really bring the game to your opponents or break your team down even further. And that's what we're hoping to see here, that both of these teams are able to keep the intensity up on the way to the final whistle.
Or to somewhat paraphrase that, execution coming out of halftime will make you or break you. And Javon Cunningham is going to start this second half as one of the changes alongside Zamoranho Hoatham. They mean offense when they're bringing in a player like Zamoranho Hoatham, of course.
And the Hoatham also has a lot of that speed and really great way to maybe introduce some sort of danger alongside the wings. Hoatham is one of those guys that would love to just pick a loose ball and make a shot out of nowhere, but he also is really dangerous from range too.
Well, let's see, of course, if he'll be able to deliver in a moment where they need things the most. Yes, you're Stallion, you're not essentially in title contention, but we're talking about it, Glenn. With being true competitors, you want to bag these wins, of course. You could still move up the standings, especially if you are a team in the championship round.
Yes, and of course, if you're the team that's no longer in for the silverware, you would love to spoil the party with a parade.
And there is this quick initiative. Chopich continues to hold on to that clean sheet bid. Confirmation of your changes, and Gaku and Ibene Mokata called it a day.
Exchanging some speed for some physicality there. And I think that there is some sense to these changes here, but so far it really will rely on how teams will adapt to these changes.
Here's a Giemang with the strike that was off target. So we have our changes also being confirmed by our announcer. So we have Hoatam, of course, who was in the game. Kilala nga natin si Hoatam from his time with Cebu. We've been saying that like a broken record along with our colleagues. And because Cebu actually played in the first game, you got to see Hoatam catching up with his former teammates. And let's talk about Javon Cunningham, born in Mililani, Hawaii. But it also says he is Filipino-American, but he's listed as a foreigner on the team sheet. So that means he has to sort out or is sorting out his paperwork as a Finn McDaniel rocket was stopped. That took a lot to get a save like that. Massive from Chupich. Stallion knocking on the door here. They'll need more of those, and they want to challenge the keeper.
Yeah, and Chupich there just almost left hanging with a high five. But at the same time, look at his movement. He was already expecting that ball, that rocket of a shot. Finn McDaniel, again, if you afford him the space, especially if he is facing the goal, he is going to pull the trigger.
Milos Chupich appreciating the effort of Pete Forosuelo to deny any rebound from the opposing side. Pero yun nga, muntik na, hindi na high five. Masakit yun
Being left hanging like that, especially after doing such a spectacular save.
And what more with your goalkeeper showing appreciation to your defender for cleaning up the garbage.
True that.
Shraki from Sato. The flick from Shraki. Belgira. Placito. They'll need him to activate Mr. Incredible. Stallion getting up slowly but surely. They'll take it to the left now. That's Aquino. Placito. I will admit, I expected Placito to play striker again, given he started in that position against Kaya FC. And I say that because sa unang minuto ng game, umiscore na siya. But they'll need a goal from anyone now, but they'll bank on Placito being the trusted man in central midfield. On the opposite, there's Mark Hartman and Stefan Schrock, of course. Clever from Sato. Veteran moves. He makes it look easy.
And again, Placito has now just been pulled from just the center midfield role to a center defensive mid right now, making use of his imposing stature. Pero yung lethality nga na sinasabi natin is something that we know Placito has been really, really active against.
Here's Finn. Played it to Hoatham. A stop from Forosuelo. That was what we were mentioning with Pete Forosuelo again. That mentality of his, that mindset, the hustle.
And I'd agree with you. Pete Forosuelo is one of those players from One Tagig's defense that's really just onto you like glue.
Reichel chested it. Agyemang. Just 4 minutes. And we've seen plenty of build-up already in this game. I was surprised myself when I looked at the timer.
From the looks of it, One Tagig really is just keeping that momentum going from the first half. But Stallion Laguna has started to pick up some pace and made some changes defensively. So far, it has been able to keep off most of the attacks coming from the One Tagig squad.
Castillo from Cunningham. Something brewing here. Sato. Shiraki. Got it to Hartman. And again there you saw Koichi just surround Hartman, but he was able to release quickly. And with a number of passes, it just ended up with Agyemang. There's Smith to beat.
Ooh.
Aldeguer turns. And there's the block from Ken Pride.
Aldeguer was hoping for that pass there. He was asking for it, but I think Agyemang could have had a split second earlier.
And Reichelt gets denied by Butt this time around. He wants that back. He could have made it 3-0.
So close for that. Really, really close of opportunities.
So close to icing the game. Now 3-0 lead would have been massive in terms of cushion. At 2-0, medyo mahirap pa, but you could say still manageable. The next goal. The most important one. We mentioned the repercussions. If it becomes 3-0, if Stallion make it 2-1, game on. That's what you call a lifeline. Castillo. Caliana Trujillo was just shielded by So. And that is why it's going to be a goal kick for Chupic. But you see a bit of that extra motion now in the flow of Stallion's midfield with Javon Cunningham coming on as a sub also.
Little addition to the spectrum of attacks that Taguig could really just do, or rather Stallion Laguna could do. Have a look at this replay here from earlier. Oh, that was so close, and that was a beautiful pass. Again, between two former national players there. Sato just racing it right.
Ken Pride has been on in this game. Score would be much bigger without Ken Pride, of course. Now can they go defense to offense? Oftentimes you'll see Taguig dictating play, but as of late it's been Stallion. And Cunningham rounding So. No whistle there. At parang baliktad. Si Cunningham nagsabi, walang welcome to the PFL sa akin. So Oma, already a veteran of this league. And Cunningham did not receive a welcome. Parang baliktad pa nga yung binigay. Talk about having that mentality, pero naging outside.
And Ome So has just moved himself over to that right side as well. From the center defensive mid, he has been assigned defensive duties to take on that side as well. I think they might be anticipating that Stallions would be going through the wing.
We'll see how they shape up, of course, as we carry on. You really have Sato playing left, and that's So, I believe, just dropped down to help cover the back, with Stallion looking to load the attacking third and challenge Taguig's defense. Here's Pride. Let's recall again, Glenn, the keys to the game. Lock in if you're Taguig. And as much as they haven't really locked in, you still see there's potential from them. They're showing something here, of course. They're gunning for that bounce back victory. And for Stallion, now they are controlling the midfield. Next step, they want to be clinical. With their chances, as we mentioned, they were actually able to deliver when it comes to controlling the midfield. They had those moments versus Kaya. That was a 2-2 draw for Stallion Laguna versus Kaya. And Daisuke Sato hitting the pitch. Treman Castillo saying, "Get up." And the two exchanging words.
And the testament that there is really something to play for these two teams, not just Taguig.
Sato winning the foul, making the most of that too. You don't want to mess with Daisuke Sato. And sabi ni Castillo, "Get up." Tapos nung lumapit si Sato, nag-sorry, nahingi ng pasensya. Placito.
Aguiman could not do anything about Placito there.
Good luck if you want to floor him, of course, or stop him. Galiana Trujillo versus Halm. Couldn't get the connection. One saying it should have been a corner kick in his perspective. Assistant referee said, goal kick.
And again, Trujillo was waiting for somebody to be a little bit closer to the edge of the box, but no one was there. They were all hoping for that high ball coming from him. And we know he could deliver those kinds of pass, but there were two marks trying to get him to make that mistake.
Chupic to resume play. Placito. So you see Stallion controlling the midfield, but you see Taguig. They're also able to absorb the pressure. Hoatam couldn't do his thing. He was denied. Hartman released it to Shraki. Smith doing well with that tackle.
That's exactly what they wanted to do with Hoatham's introduction there. Just that little sting, surprise attacks there. But Taguig could have an opportunity.
Well, the flag is up here. And both sides have been livid also with a number of calls or non-calls. They've been animated in this game. Well, the stakes are high. The emotions getting in also. Pero bakit naging free kick, Glenn? Kala ko offside ng tawag. Mukhang naging foul, no? Or it appeared to be a foul. When I initially thought Taguig were flagged offside.
Well, it will still end up as a free kick either way. But depends on the final referee's assessment. Nakita ko din yung flag eh.
Well, the main referee has the final decision, of course. Hartman long ball. Aldeguer. No good here.
And this time he was unassisted on that right side. Unlike earlier, Stallion was a bit more prepared to block off the supply in the avenues.
Possession will remain now with Taguig. They got some stops in defense and have an opportunity to carry on the attack.
Certainly a lot of height there coming from Taguig, but Stallion are no pushover from corners.
They have the physicality too, as we know. But it's turned in by Sato and Taguig. He looks like our goal scorer here, and he's loving it. He's celebrating it.
Really slippery surface there. But of all the players you'd expect to score a header from a corner, Daisuke Sato had to leap for that.
Talk about passion with Daisuke Sato. We'll try to get another look also.
That was a bit sudden there. Let's have a look. Great delivery, nice height to it. Yusuf Butnu, it was going away. Wow, there were a lot of hands on Sato. He had to force his way with that jump. He couldn't even jump high enough. But the accuracy of that pass, driven to you by the quad replay from Upstream Sports, beautifully done by Sato amidst the opposition that was preventing him.
And the bonus points for Sato's slide also on the turf. Not a header in that instance. He used his shoulder from what I saw. 3 goals, 3 different goal scorers for Taguig. You have Sato, Reichelt, and Shraki. It just so happens these are the former Philippines internationals who are well seasoned, absolute veterans.
At nung pinag-uusapan natin si Juan Taguig earlier, it was the same trio that we were kind of leaning towards that would be the absolute game changers in this game. And so far, they have certainly delivered.
Hartman through to Shraki.
Oh.
There's eventually the whistle against Smith. Chris Marcagnola with his yellow out and gives it.
I think that was really out of frustration there. Let's have a look. It was a foot race and Smith was well left behind, but both hands on Stefan Schrock's shoulders. Schrock didn't even have to eat grass for that. He knows that he's gotten that foul.
And that's the reason why Hartman will send this ball forward again. They get to collect at the back.
Again, I'm just trying to be a bit cheeky with the back heel. Didn't work out.
So, confirmation again in the yellow, as you got to see in your picture. Halm versus Galiana Trujillo. Stephen Halm has enjoyed success here. Gets another stop. The foul is against Galiana Trujillo though, from what I am seeing.
And again, really great movement there from Halm. You could see that he was swinging his head, maybe perhaps to throw Galiana off guard at the same time as just scanning his environment. Opted to shield the ball. And boy, that was the right decision.
Čupić will run the clock here. And that's the case for any team in the lead, as we know. And this is not good. Čupić may get booked. That's confirmed. And get this. Juan Taguig do not have a goalkeeper on the bench.
Really risky there then. That means that any unfortunate incidents with the keeper could put Juan Taguig at risk. It's too early to be consuming the time like that for a keeper.
And this is a foul from the looks of it. Oh, this might be against Galiana Trujillo. Coach Ernie is up in the technical area. Coach Ernie's not pleased. So that's a confirmation on the yellow against Čupić earlier. But we got to see also yellow against Galiana Trujillo. Coach Ernie outside of his technical area. He is contesting that. Let's take a look at our quad vision replay brought to you by Upstream Sports TV.
Oh, that movement there from Galiana. I think that was it's kind of similar to a headbutt already. I'm not sure if he knows that Sato was behind him, but certainly not the kind of movement you would like to see.
And I will have to correct myself from earlier when I mentioned Sato, Reichelt, and Shraki, former Philippines internationals. Tanggalin mo na yung former or remove the former for Daisuke Sato because he was actually called up to the Philippines in that last international window in the AFC Asian Cup qualifiers.
Consider ourselves corrected then. But then again, it's the international windows are just too far and few in between that sometimes it is kind of difficult to keep track. But that does speak to the quality that exists
Well,
still.
let's hold on because we're having a conversation here. Castillo resumes this. Belguera and Aldeguera appear to get into a bit of a collision. Shraki got to beat Castillo. Across.
trying to gift that pass to Aldeguer. A little bit too much power.
It came off of Aquino in that instance. It was on target actually, but secured. Placito. We have subs also, just being sorted out. It may be for one Taguig. Time continues to tick. You could say it's an unassailable lead for one Taguig because they lead thanks to the goals of Reichelt, Shraki, and Sato. Here's Aldeguer also. He's been instrumental in the attack. We thought that was going to slip in from our angle. It came off a Stallion defender. Corner kick.
But that was really close as well. Had those angles been correct, I think it was on its way, but that defender just did his duty, put a body in the way.
So you have Goldson and Kurt Dizon, who are set to enter for one Taguig. Stallion will also be making a change. I believe there's Amir Mimari Manish. And you also have Rice David Williams. But first, there's another corner kick for Taguig, and it will be Mark Hartman to send. And as much as he's really been tested, he's still been able to make an impact in this game. Off of Belgira. And it's a foul against Taguig. Stallion getting a stop.
And that foul just came in time as well. That almost was an opportunity for somebody to pull the trigger there in front of the keeper.
Here's a look at the replay.
Great delivery there coming from Mark Hartman. But again, it was, you could see Placito just taken down there with the movement.
Here are the changes that are being made. Shraki will call it a day along with Agiemang. Galiana Trujillo will step off along with Belgira. And you have Mimari Manesh checking into the game along with Williams.
So both players that we've set to be watched this afternoon or this evening has already stepped off. Could be interesting change in dynamic here because they are certainly looking to change the momentum to their side, Stallion. Meanwhile, one Taguig has to keep this up.
I beg your pardon. I thought it was initially Belgira stepping off, but it's actually Abe Placito. That's massive if they're pulling him out of the midfield. Now Williams and Manesh with a chance to make an impact, as is the case with Kurt Dizon and Goldson. We'll talk about these subs in a bit. Kurt Dizon, instant impact here. Dizon also former Philippines international. Got plenty of experience playing on the AFC level. Once upon a time also with the likes of Ceres Negros. He brings in the creativity that you just got to witness. So with our subs, you have Williams, who was born in Reading and is from England. He's played back home in England and also in the United States. I just talked about Dizon, of course, but he's a Filipino who was also born in the likes of England. Well, Dizon down already.
That was...
He just checked in, but maybe you have to be concerned. He's shaken up.
First initial contact after getting that ball and trying to run it through the defenders there, but a lot of physicality. Ooh, could be on the head. Let's have a look. Replay here. Ooh, that was a bit rough there on the shoulder. shoulder of Terrence Smith to the head. Diesen.
He'll just get checked on, of course, by their physiotherapists. Safety is paramount, of course, at all times. When going back to our subs, of course, we have Amir Mimari, who is from Iran. And for those who do not know, he had a stint with Minjola, but he's also been able to play all over Asia. There's the likes of Afghanistan, India, also, just to name a few. And to add, of course, to playing back home in Iran, where he's from. Less than 20 minutes remaining now.
Linesman had to wait there if Reichelt was going to get involved in that play, and he did. Offside was called easily.
And lastly, with the subs, of course, who we've been also introducing and talking about, you have Goldson. 9 goals and 8 assists for him in this campaign so far. He is a Portuguese under-23 champion. So he also got to bag experience outside of his home, Brazil. Here's Hiraishi. Belgira read that ball for Reichelt. Hoatam hitting the gas. If you're a Stallion in Zamorano Hoatam, with him being put on at the half, you're hoping that they'd be able to at least set the tone by getting a goal. Unfortunately, that didn't work out for them. Sinasabi ko to, or we're saying this because we know him as that goal-scoring machine in his time in the PFL.
And so far, Stallion has really been favoring playing that ball on the opposite flank of Hoatham, and it's his compatriot there, Cunningham, on the other side that's getting more and seeing more of the ball.
Time continues to tick. Taguig closing in on a 3-0 victory to bounce back after losing 3-0 also to Manila Digger. Loaded in by Koichi. And Hiraishi just stopping McDaniel.
McDaniel was poised to just head that away.
Time continues to tick again. But going back, there's also the upcoming international break. You mainly have the FIFA World Cup that will be taking place at the United States, Mexico, and Canada. As Cunningham gets a corner here after that ball came off of So. And by default, with us having the World Cup, it's an international break, and the Philippine men's national team will look to, not look to, but it was confirmed as we saw online, they'll be playing in a Tri-Nations friendly series with Myanmar and Guam.
And it has been a while since we've held a Tri-Nation tournament with these two countries.
Ball whipped in from Hoatam. Chupic couldn't get it. And just when I was about to say Stallion looking to pounce, Sato with the clearance. Ball in, but Ken Pride came close. There was a close opportunity. Taguig getting the stop. Do you say just by the skin of their teeth? And Marcus Haber will enter the game.
Substitution for Taguig FC.
He's a former Canadian international. And Patrick Reichel calls it a day after 75 minutes.
Marcus Haber.
I believe the last time we had a friendly tournament right here, whether it be the Rizal Memorial Stadium or in the Philippines as a whole, was the Peace Cup. It would be 4 countries.
I think that was used to be the Long Teng Cup before we started hosting it,
Yes,
right?
there's the Long Teng Cup, of course, which would take place, or it would be hosted by Chinese Taipei. And in that cycle, they were able to make the Peace Cup, of course, which somewhat replaced that Long Teng Cup, right, which would be hosted by Chinese Taipei, whom I mentioned earlier. There was the Peace Cup that was held with 4 teams. The Philippines, Macau, Guam, Chinese Taipei also. Ayun, that's what happened also.
Parang basta our turn to host it.
The 4 teams played the 4 teams got to play in a single round robin, with the best team after finishing on top. I recall possibly in about 2014, that same Peace Cup was going to take place. There was Myanmar, Philippines, and Palestine, and there's also one more country, I beg your pardon. But at that time, there came an announcement where they said there's a limit. You have to play, or you can only play a maximum of 2 games in an international window. So they ended up making it a knockout tournament. And as we know now, normally, we'd see these pocket tournaments or series of friendlies with teams playing a max of 2 games. So in this instance, it'll be Philippines, Myanmar, and Guam. So they'll all get to play each other once, a total of 2 games per team. Here's Haber. He looked to add on to the scoreboard. And Koichi Belgira. Talk about effort here. Playing hard from start to finish.
And that's the thing. That's what we've come to expect from both of these teams, especially with a team like Stallion, who really had an emphasis on making it all the way to the final whistle with the fitness, the physicality that they have. But again, if they push too hard too early, sometimes it kicks them back. But so far right now, they are hanging on, but scoreline suggests that they really need to up it up a bit.
But here's a chance now. Can Stallion get one on the board? But time continues to tick. Should they get a goal, it may be a consolation. Haber hit the pitch hard. Pride got to meet it, sent it to the middle. Chupic again. Somehow able to get the stop. But now he's holding on to his left wrist.
But that man has stood his ground, and this isn't the first really important save he's done this evening. Stallion Laguna has already inched themselves. Let's have a look at this replay. Header in. Nobody was watching that header. And again, the only eyes that were on that ball were Kupic's. Headed back in by Pride. And Smith with a great header. But it was really just within hands reach, literally, of the keeper.
Mimari Manesh mounting the pressure on hand. There's Sato to support. There's also Finn McDaniel and Castillo. Chupic getting it to So. Castillo heading it. Cunningham. Smith joining forward now. Showing us his ability with the ball. He loved the confidence. But Sato just able to get the stop. Goldson.
Ooh.
Things getting physical here.
Indeed. Really was expecting Goldson to just lean on him, Castillo. And Castillo just let him go. Let's have a look at this replay here. Castillo versus Goldson. Goldson gets the ball first. Tries to play, and Castillo now gets an opportunity to shield, expecting that Goldson was going to shoulder his way in, and he did.
Aldeguer. There's the whistle against him. That's why he'll yield possession. And with this impending result, Taguig will be tied with Manila Digger One Taguig will be tied with Manila Digger in points, level at 55.
Mhm.
Lamang yung Manila Digger in terms of goal difference, or Digger with the advantage of on goal difference. But One Taguig with a match on hand. So, should One Taguig bag a victory in their next game to add to the victory here, they'll retake first spot over Manila Digger. Kurt Dizon, he's the man surrounded this time around. We also have our upcoming games as always right here on the Philippines Football League. Follow us on social media, and thank you for joining us on the YouTube page of the PFL. So we have no games tomorrow. We have the PFF Futsal Liga coming up. Right, Glenn? My game's tomorrow. It's going to be the final.
Correct.
And shout out to John Alcoseba. Ooh. A member of the hardworking team over at Cebu for the broadcast. And that is not a goal that you got to see. And Mahmoud Ali and Hamid Hajimadi will enter. And this One Taguig lineup, Glenn, I'm sorry, is stacked.
I know.
Well, actually, that's the case for all top 6 teams.
But right now, they have certainly carried the heavier backpack. One Taguig has a lot of players in their toolbox this evening, and they are certainly making full use of it, including that man on your screen, Hamid Hajimadi, who has, in the interview already, is in a positive light.
It is nice of him actually to do the pre-game interview with our colleagues, of course, for the broadcast.
Player number 20, Mark Hartman, is replaced by player number 10, Hamed Hajimadi.
Here's Finn up against Ali. Hoatam. Williams will return it to Finn. Now's the time if Laguna are looking to spoil the clean sheet. So PFL action will actually resume on Wednesday, May 20. But we told you again, you could join in at the Phil Sports Arena tomorrow for the PFF Futsal Liga. But the games on May 20, you have a mix actually of the classification in championship group. Garelli will take on Philippine Army at 3:30. At 6:15, it will be Toloy versus Maharlika. Confirmation again on the subs. Hiraishi and Hartman stepped off for Ahmed Hajimadi and Mahmoud Ali. Dizon. Hamed. Sent it to the right to Goldson. He'll send it in as a cross. Cleared off by Belgira. And on Wednesday, One Taguig will actually resume their campaign versus Gentle Giants, or the Gentle Giants Cebu FC. Those games on Wednesday, May 20, will take place right here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. Check the Philippines Football League on social media again, on Facebook and Instagram for complete details.
And I think that next game on Wednesday for the championship group is really pivotal now that One Taguig is set to get all 3 points this evening with just 6 minutes left in this game.
Tempers flaring between Finn and Sato.
Oh.
They're trying to describe to one another what went on. The two may get booked here. Oh, and Sato gets a yellow. It was all love between the two during our pre-game pleasantries with the referees, because they are our respective captains. Stephen Banner is also in the game now here. He'll get some time to end this match. So that game between One Taguig and Cebu, which will be on Wednesday, will take place at 9 p.m. Now it's with Banner. On Saturday, May 23, exactly 7 days from now, it'll be Digger versus Stallion to raise our curtains at 3:30. As there is a diving header from D-Zone. The pitch is still slippery, nonetheless, because we did have some heavy rains earlier, right, Glenn?
But the rain has indeed stopped. And Stallion Laguna really just trying to get that, trying to cap over at this final attacking third of Taguig, just hoping to really press them into making mistakes. Right now, Taguig has already laid off their aggressiveness.
Now it's out wide. They lob it.
Ooh.
Sato the stop. There's also the pull from Sato on Finn away from the ball. Well, your second game next week on May 23 will be Taguig also versus Kaya. So Taguig will be playing twice this week. That's also the case with Cebu, who will wrap up Saturday, May 23 action versus the Aguilas. But bottom line, PFL action will resume on Wednesday. Masaya pag triple header, Glenn. Sulit yung ticket dito sa mga laro.
Indeed, and with the games that they have on hand, especially that one is really critical.
Forosuelo headed it. Also the case with Ali, getting it to their keeper. The clean sheet bid is still there for Chupic and his team. Hamed Aldeguer returned it. Andres.
Oh.
Offline and out and about.
And Aguiaman was waiting for that pass there. The run was already perfect.
Hoatham. Zamoranjo. Friendly fire between the Taguig players. Hoatham getting close, gets in. No angle there as Chupic sent it out.
Just a lot of, there's just too much traffic in the box. Plenty of white shirts can't really thread a pass.
But it's an impending 3-0 result again here for Taguig. Reichelt, Shraki, and Sato are your goal scorers this evening. But there were a number of close calls also. And Stallion just denied by Chupic, who's been able to come up with spectacular saves.
Indeed. Galliano Trujillo and Finn McDaniel have opportunities of their own, almost finding the back of the net. But of course, Chupic and his defensive line has held firm, kept it away, defended really well this evening.
And it's a free kick. You got to see plenty of these actually in the first half for Stallion. As Finn just got this one to Williams. Sato, the clearance, went for the fancy. Hamed versus Amir Manesh. Iran versus Iran. Compatriots going at it. Less than a minute now until additional time in this game.
And still, Stallion is after that one goal to pull things back, make it look decent, spoil the clean sheet.
Stallion have been able to back draws as of late with top 6 teams. Yes, you're able to limit teams, or you're able to go toe-to-toe. But you want to get wins, of course, at the end of the day. This one a bump on the road for them, unfortunately. 4-1 Taguig, back to winning ways. Talk about bouncing back.
Well, the ultimate challenge is now to get and to do all of the games they have in hand. That one game on Wednesday, it really is at the moment Taguig's league to lose now.
But that loss to Digger, costly. But that was at the second round.
There will be a minimum of 3
3 minutes of stoppage time, as confirmed by Mike Michael Barajas. He's our fourth official in this evening's game. Just gifted away there. Goldson trying to get it to Haber. And with Stallion hustling hard, they almost got it to Hotham. Hit the pitch in that instance. Here comes Marcus Haber. He'll pull this back and we'll wait for help. Hamed.
That is the right movement for Taguig. Don't waste possession here. Wait for the backup. Minimize the risk of losing the ball.
He'll stretch the defense now as they play it back to the keeper. Clara Manzano here alongside Glenn Casas. And we had an action-packed triple header today for your championship round groups. Here comes Aldeguer. Trying to lay it off there. Haber trying to get in. Up against Banner. Succumbs to his physicality. So it was a 1-1 draw earlier between Manila Digger and Cebu. What a second half from Cebu, fighting back, making it 1-1. And the two teams just went back and forth with opportunities and forced plenty of saves from the keepers. And you had Kaya with a masterclass over Aguilas. Masterclass as much as it ended 3-1.
Now that you mentioned it, they will be up against that same Cebu team that denied 3 points to the current league leaders and could have effectively ended their potential championship winning run. So far, it has played out to Taguig's advantage, and they really need to make the most of it on Wednesday.
Cebu, one of the teams with a target on their backs, because they did represent the Philippines Football League and PFL in the Shopee Cup. After all, as that was a rocket, that was no good.
Howatham just again popping up out of nowhere with those shots, but really has lost accuracy.
Aldeguer. Ken Pride gets it their way. Continue to stay with us, of course, because later on we'll bring you the highlights and statistics, and we'll get an opportunity to chat with our man of the match in this game. Oh, played forward here. That was promising from Williams, but just wasn't on the same page. But that's eventually the last kick of the game. 3-0 is the final score here to wrap up our triple header at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. Sato, Reichelt, Shraki, your goal scorers. 3 goals and 3 different players finding the back of the net here.
National team connection from from all 3. It wasn't really a one-sided affair if you come to think of it. Stallion Laguna has been able to keep up, stand their ground, and even threaten a little bit. And so far this evening, and from the start of this championship round, Stallion Laguna has not made a lot of mistakes. But in the end, it was quality coming from Taguig that really pushed everything through. You can see from these replays here, the quality coming from Taguig and Stallion Laguna has been there. Great passages of play, great reads, and great opportunities coming from both of these teams to really just give us the entertainment this evening. But so far, only one team has shown enough quality on the important parts, the shooting, the finishing, and that is Taguig through the experience of these 3 players. The balance now of the standings is that Taguig has inched themselves closer into that lead. They now have 55 points, puts them at level pegging with Manila Digger, who currently leads by goal difference of 89 against Taguig's 79. Look at your stats here on your screen. By the end of everything, it is still one Taguig with control of everything. But we will be leaving you for now with one Taguig 3, Stallion Laguna 0. Next week on Wednesday, you will see one Taguig take up Cebu. And then you will also see Don Bosco, Garelli, Philippine Army, Tuloy, and Maharlika competing for further points in placement. What an exciting day, what an exciting weekend, and what an exciting league. We still have plenty more to offer you in the next weeks. This is Glenn, and alongside with my partner Clara Manzano, we bid you good night. This is the PFL. We are PFL.
Sato, what a performance for you and the team. What a way to bounce back after that tough result versus Digger. A statement W for you guys over Stallion 3-0. And you're back in the hunt, obviously, for the championship.
Yeah, we are happy with the 3 points. Again and again and again. We showed a true character, true commitment, true professionalism. I'm very proud of these boys. I'm so happy to have a chance to play with all the group here. This is my family. You can never exchange any 3 points or any championship. This is the best, boys. This is the family. This is the best. I'm very, very proud of the boys. Proud of the 3 points. Again, I don't want to say much here. All I want to say is we're going to fight until our last blood. Thank you. That's it.
Thanks a lot. All the best.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Puhunan mo sa bawat segundong humihinga. Pruweba to na ika'y uubra. Ang puso iyong pakinggan. Pangalan mo kanilang tinitilian. Diretso lang ang tingin. Di ka nila kayang ibagin. Magano man o magpagi, di tayo uuwing sabi. Diretso lang ang tingin. Di ka nila kayang ibagin. Magano man o magpagi, di tayo uuwing sabi. Atin ang labang ito. Atin ang labang ito.
Huge pass for the goalkeeper, putting himself under pressure. It's the opener. Halike, will he take it? What a goal! Halike! And it's a goal. Bottom left corner. Opportunity for Philippine Army, and it is an equalizer. Fantastic goal. It's free on the right side, looking for the cross. Beto, and it's a goal for one Taguig. Yoka takes it straight to the goal. First blood drawn. Could easily be pulled back, but here's Aristorenas, no offside. Aristorenas makes it two.
Mirbach meets that one from Malunsoko. Shoots, and they double the lead.
Yamaguchi! What a hit!
There's an attacking chance, and the Águila slip it in.
Hey there, what you drinking? 2 shots, let's pour it up. I know what you're thinking, but tomorrow won't come for us. This life that we're living, ain't never gonna give it up. Double shot for the gifted, and one more for us. There you go, drink it up. All this love in a cup. Yeah, we go slow, we go fast. Yeah, we can't get enough. We stay all day, all night, living in paradise. Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life. This is the time of your life. Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life.